worked for the United States Army that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic.
What? A part of me also feels like if this was real, there's no way they would possibly be allowing this nigga to just say this, right? There's no way. They would probably get him up out of here.
Never see clear from a gangster.
We got alien breeding programs in 2026. This video is about FDH. Hey, look, I'm confused too. You know, I don't even know how they executing this before GTA 6, but they doing it. Hey, let's see what's popping, bro. Let's see what's popping.
Yo, DH, what's on your mind? I know the title is crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about aliens, and honestly, I know it's really weird, and you're probably surprised, but I am a bit of a conspiracy nut, and I have a lot to share on the idea of aliens. Do I think they exist? Yeah.
Conspiracy nut is an interesting way to put it, you know, but, you know, I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracist, or I don't even know if that's the right terminology to even use for that, but, you know, these things interest me from time to time. But yeah, let's see what he's talking about right here.
Because if we're thinking about how vast our universe is, the idea that we're completely alone starts to crumble a bit. And we also live in America, or at least a big part of my audience does. And when you live in America, you're subjected to psychological manipulation and propaganda. So rather than this being genuine transparency, this could be a distraction. Right, and there's only one way to find out, and that's by going through it. So let's talk about it. Comment for the algorithm. This all started because I seen a video alleging that there are alien hybrid breeding programs in America that are hidden. And it was so insane to me that I had to just download everything I could in preparation of this video. And my clavicular video that I just uploaded was almost shelved in favor of talking about this insanity first.
Oh, so that's how you know it's serious. This nigga put the clav situation, the clavicular situation. Man, I only talked about that situation a few times. I really don't care about it, but you know, it brings in a little traction, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I do it.
Show you guys what we're dealing with.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic.
What? Okay. You know, I don't want to really get too far into the details of what he could possibly mean by breeding with humans. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, common sense, you know, you can put the pieces together. But first of all, a part of me also feels like if this was real, there's no way they would possibly be allowing this nigga to just say this, right? There's no way. They would probably get him up out of here quickly, I feel like.
An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
That's Matt Gaetz, a former congressman who is making the claim that there is a secret hybrid race breeding program. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. A hybrid breeding program is such mind-boggling information that you just gotta let that shit sit in your chest. I'm not even saying I want to immediately dismiss this because we live in 2026. I'm not gonna act like these new revelations surprise me. We are in the midst of a desensitization campaign after all. Y'all remember when the president of Venezuela got captured and we learned about the discombobulator, a weapon used to aid the mission to kidnap him? I mean, where would they even get the technology for a weapon like that?
That is true. I don't know if y'all know about this right here, but it's literally them in helicopters, right? They're like, this is an aerial type of attack. You know what I'm saying? They bring out the choppers and literally, it's like a sound wave system that they aimed at the building, and it literally like malfunctioned their whole body, bruh. Their whole body just malfunctioned. All their systems was shutting down. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was not having a great time with this thing.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating. What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you?
These niggas trying to create a fourth gender.
Please unpack
Yeah,
that.
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans.
From war zones, they kidnapping the ops and forcing them to breed with aliens, bro. Is that what you're telling me? That's their punishment? That's insane.
Of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but
And this is where it goes from being
Bruh, I'm sorry. I can't. I gotta stop it. Imagine if you are in a war and all of a sudden you just get scooped up and then you're forced to breed with aliens, bruh. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Some of y'all so sick in the head that you would probably really enjoy that shit. I know you would, you dirty bastard.
too downright scary. We already know ICE is abducting people. It's no secret. Matt Gaetz said
Yeah.
that migrants and humans that were taken from war zones were allegedly participating in this alien breeding program. That's terrifying for a magnitude of reasons. We have a bunch of people in camps as we speak that have horrible conditions and are ran by a bunch of men with a power trip. How safe do you think these people are? People in ICE camps who are at the mercy of the federal government is what comes to mind. That doesn't mean that these claims are real, but what it does show me is that potentially our government has no qualms about taking advantage of people who need help and using these same people to further the transhumanism movement, which is literally just shedding your humanity. The rest of the clip, Matt Gaetz talks about how he can't verify any of this information, but he also said that the whistleblower who spoke to him told him that there are various locations where these breeding facilities are and that they wanted members of Congress to oversee this, but it wasn't possible because it's various locations, and I guess this whistleblower wanted Congress at all locations at once.
Okay, so he's saying whistleblower, so that means I guess somebody that's in the lead, like in the space that is, you know, like sneaking the information to him.
Not enough manpower, I don't know. But it also gets pretty weird when you consider that there was a 2024 oversight committee discussing the subject of UFOs and transparency that corroborates the claims made by Matt Gaetz.
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
I am not, ma'am.
I'm not.
No, ma'am.
Like I said, this was during a 2024 House Oversight Committee on UFO transparency. She's saying the same thing. The manipulation of human genes and non-human genes to evolve humans. This is transhumanism's final form. They're literally trying to make us shed our humanity, which is entirely in line with the whole hybrid breeding programs.
wow.
What even is the purpose of a hybrid species? And then another weird thing is that there's an Australian senator chiming in on this conversation, and he said that he wouldn't be surprised about who's not entirely human. This is also the only information that he is authorized to disclose at this time. Now, my question is, what's the sudden interest in UFO and non-human life? Don't get me wrong, I actually think a lot of this stuff is pretty cool. I mean, who wants to be the only intelligent species in the universe? But I only ask this question because
Yeah. Once you find out how intelligent these other species are in the universe, nigga, you gonna wish that you were the only intelligent species in the universe. Hey, be careful what you ask for, DH. Be careful, man. Relax.
there are way more pressing matters right now, like the war in Iran, the fact we have a literal file as the president, or the collapse of democracy that's happening in the West as we speak. Which I might even be wrong about that, because the rise of fascism is global because of all these right-wing movements, but not the conversation for today. This is not me saying aliens are fake or that they're not real or that they're not here, okay? I'm just saying there's so much fishy stuff going on. I just want to understand why they want us to know about aliens now. Let's just talk about the Obama interview, because he literally confirmed.
Maybe they just trying to distract everybody from the war that's going on in Iran and all that. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. You know, they use the war to distract, you know, people from Donald Trump and the Epstein files, and now they trying to use aliens to distract you from that and further distract you from that. Maybe that's what they trying to do. You know, that's what it's seeming like, since we getting all conspiratorial up in here.
The existence of aliens.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
What makes it so believable to me is how casual he says it. And honestly, that's the type of transparency the government needs. These niggas talk about transparency all day, all night, but this is literally the epitome of it. The excuse for a lack of transparency is that people won't handle it. But the current US president was rubbing shoulders with Jeff Epstein. I don't think a little information about aliens is going to break us. I might even roll up with an alien. I'm trolling. But I remember when this clip hit the timeline and everyone was surprised about how candid Obama was being. What's crazy is that there's some older footage of Obama talking about weird flying objects.
There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. And so, I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is.
At this point, I think it's pretty clear that there's a high likelihood that there's some non-human tech and non-human life that exists. My only issue is that when it comes to discussing this information, there's always some complications. For example, even though Obama clearly states that aliens exist, you have Trump coming in and playing damage control.
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. You know?
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
Well,
he made a big...
And see, here's the thing. Even in the slightest chance that they were, they're not going to directly tell you. You know what I'm saying? The government is all about having control about what the people know. And you don't know what you don't know. Knowledge is one of the greatest sources of power over a group of people. So if you know something that somebody else doesn't know, that gives you an advantage over them. And you can kind of control and limit some of the stuff that they can do due to the fact that you know certain things that they don't know. So they're not going to just straight up give a direct answer to it. So, of course, there's going to be some complications to it.
He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can declassify anything that he wants to.
Well,
So if you
maybe
want to...
I never believed it, never did, never will. You believe it, Peter?
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Classified
Illegal.
information.
What else?
He gave us classified information, but you don't know if they're real or not. This nigga lying through his damn teeth. And that's just such a Trump thing to do. He talks about bailing Obama out and then going in for the save and declassifying the information, but it was too late because Obama decided to walk back his statement. And I was really sad because I thought Big Barack was gonna stand on business. And in this statement, he just opts for the PR route and he makes the alien question about statistics, which is something I said at the start. When you consider how vast the universe is, it's likely there are creatures out there other than us. But then all this stuff got real weird to me because I seen an interview of JD Vance entertaining the question, and I'll use that to transition us into the next thing I had on my mind.
You gonna release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files, and then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have. I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it, but I am going to. Trust me, I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, so you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some
Not
people
yet.
say
Here's the thing. Recently, there was a domain registered called aliens.gov, and this tipped off a lot of people. And now that we have JD Vance talking about it, the whole alien thing is a little suspicious. Here's my theory. Aliens are real, and we've probably made contact with them and even used some of their technology. But the alien revelation is only being leveraged to divert people's attention. Nobody cares about aliens right now. Niggas got food to put on the table and bills to pay.
Man, here's what I think. You know, are aliens real? Who knows, bro? You know, it's a 50-50 chance that aliens are real. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, I can't really say that. I can't really say that for sure. Because it goes back to what I was saying, you know. Imagine having another intelligent species other than us. Like, we already sparked wars amongst each other. What do you think that's gonna bring? Just something to think about. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, bro. I'll see y'all on the next one. Hey, if you like the video, then like the video. And if you want to see more reactions, subscribe. I love y'all.
Shout out to my twin. Ain't never seen tears from a gangster, so why the world want me to cry? Fighting depression, talk to the spirits, use them judges that help me get by. But I cannot lie, that she hurt me bad when I got that call, told me you died. Like how the fuck can they take you? Man, I hope I wake up, it's a lie.